Guys, how are you? So guys, kuna vituko outside and I don't know whether you've actually seen this. These things about DNA demands in families will break families, I'm telling you. Yeah, so it's like people have not really come to stand the aspect of staying with a kid that is not theirs. And of course, in the ancient society, see kama these things were not happening. Yeah, but our grandfathers were tolerant. They used to understand these things. They just keep quiet and take care of babies without asking for DNA. So, guys, if you look at the consequences of demands for DNA, I don't know about what happened exactly after the fire that broke up in a school in, of course, that was Meru, right? Yeah, so of course DNAs were taken and it was just realized that the dead boys were not children to their fathers. Imagine, a child has died, you are traumatized, then you go for DNA because you want to check for the body whether it's your child, and boom, it falls on you that that was not your kid. Now, why do you think this is happening? Tell me, guys. I would actually wish to understand why this, some people are calling it mathematics, and others are talking about the equation. Tell me why the equation is so currently. They talk of unproportional. Unproportional equation, right? Yeah. So, the reason why I'm doing this reaction, you saw the video recently among the Somali people. This lady, the husband just demanded for a DNA for a kid. And do you know what the woman did? Very traumatizing, right? The woman decided to throw the baby from the I think it was somewhere, fourth floor somewhere. Boom. So the child came down. And of course, what do you expect? The child will die. Now I looked the inbox and people are like, hata kama amekufa wafanye DNA. And I was like, hey, the way DNA is expensive. By the way, the reason why many people don't go for DNS is just because it's very expensive. Now I was like, so if they do it, what will be the benefit? So I think even by now that lady should be in jail because whatever she decided to do, you know, I think she would have rather just left the child to be, and then after DNA she explained she explains everything rather than throwing the child and making the child die. It was a very bad incident. So let me fix that video here. So please watch and just tell me, what do you think? Of course, when you look at the face of the boy, you look at the father, because all of them are in this video, plus the mother, what do you think? Now, why do you think the lady threw? Of course, that would be obvious. I wouldn't have even to ask such, right? Yeah, so let's watch this before we can proceed, right? You've watched that. It's quite traumatizing. Sometimes things just can't add up. I wish this kid was left, and if the mother was not going to be responsible, maybe the government, or rather any other institution, or maybe somebody somewhere must be actually wishing to have a son. And if she went on to let the child live and she could not afford to stay with the child, somebody would have actually taken care of the child and maybe adopted the child. So, of course, I can't blame this man for demanding DNA. And maybe there were reasons, because it was indicated clearly that he was looking forward to finalizing a divorce. So, which means the man had doubted this kid for a long time. And so by demanding DNA, he knew exactly that this was not his son. Maybe at first he just tolerated to stay with this boy because he was in love with this woman. But later on, some things happen. Things happen, yeah, if you know, you know. So things happen, and when he realized that he cannot stay with this woman anymore, he demanded DNA. And of course, the results were there. It's very sad. May the soul of the young boy rest in peace. But wamama, if actually you know that a child is not his father's, a girl is not her father's, if DNA is demanded, just say the truth. Because of course some of you know. Just say the truth and save the life of that boy, because you don't have to actually go to an extent of killing the daughter or son. Once you do that, you'll end up in jail. You will not go scot-free. And in some situations, you can even be murdered by a crowd, right? So what will you gain in the process? Now, I'm just imagining the life of this lady after this experience, yeah? What kind of life is she living? And I'm very sure she's in jail, of course. Yeah. So, ladies, find solutions that are better, solutions that are outstanding. They always say women are clever, but in this situation, I don't think the lady was clever. Emotional intelligence failed. And I think if you actually know that that baby is not the father's, just tell them the truth. Let them marry you knowing that that child is not theirs. And if you ever mess maybe within a marriage and the demands are made, face it. Because they always say choices have consequences. And I'm very sure even by now, there are so many women out there maybe claiming to be single or whatever, and they keep saying maybe a child is somebody's, maybe that child is not that person's. But why do people not check for paternity? It's because it is expensive. Or else, if people started DNA, I'm very sure very many homes will be broken. And of course, very many children will be left. Yeah, they'll be left fatherless. Because of course, when I look at paternity tests, there is paternity court in America. When you watch the videos, you will be mesmerized. These people who say happy and whatever, maybe happy in marriage or happy as single, they lie. They lie a lot. And if you've ever watched, I think you can actually support me, because they say so, but you find that they have a multiple. Like they have 6 men. 6 men for 1 child. And none of them maybe is even the father. And before the truth is known, the child is traumatized. The only person suffering here is the child. Not the mother, not the father. So, guys, it is high time that as we look at the modern society and as we choose what we choose to do, because we always say, it's my choice. But if the choice comes down to a child, it's no longer just your choice, yeah? Because it's involving another party who is not part of the two of you. Yeah. So guys, that is something that I saw last week, and I didn't just have time to react, but I think my reaction will be worth for one person or two that will have to actually see the lessons from it. Yeah, if we look at this as a learning point, not actually as a point of criticism or whatever. Yeah, so bye-bye for now. Let's meet in another discussion. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. You don't know what it means when you subscribe.